Hey guys. I know. You're gonna be like, what is she all excited about? Plants. I am so excited. I just ordered milkweed, and I always forget until it's the summertime. I'm like, oh, because they bloom and they summer to fall type of thing is the time that they'll be blooming and stuff, and they don't even bloom. The reason I've never gotten the seeds is because I understand that anyway, what I understand about it is sometimes it takes like the second year to grow, so you'd have to grow them the first year. I mean, they'll grow, but they might not bloom. um, and I wanted to do it right off. And then I found out that there's all different kinds of milkweed. And there's common milkweed, there's swamp milkweed, which are the two most common in the United States. But I wouldn't have thought that I looked, and I don't usually use Walmart. I haven't for years, but everybody else is out of them. And this happens every year. The place that I'll get it from, and then it's just seeds. There's a spot I was gonna put a rose in, and it's under the by the kitchen window. But I'm thinking the butterfly weed, because it gets like, I think it said it's like 2 to 3 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet tall maybe, and like 2 3 feet wide is how it eventually, it's like a low bush. But it's the only plant. This I just learned today. I knew that it was the only plant that monarch butterflies lay their eggs, and they crystallize and stuff only on the milkweed plant, which is part of the problem, because milkweed in America used to be considered as like a pest plant, like dandelions. And a lot of people grow dandelions purposely because dandelion tea and things like that, the dandelion is a lot like, has that little bit of milky stuff like a milkweed. Those kind of things have been used in native herbology and stuff, and they have cures. And I just found out, not only is it the only plant that the monarch recycles, reproduce, with and eat from, the lanternflies that are an invasive species, that sap, that white milky stuff, it's toxic to lanternflies. It doesn't affect any other like beneficial insect and stuff like that. And I just read that today, that I was researching the milkweed further. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to invest in a plant, I mean, those things are usually $20 and up, 18, $20 just for a bare root, and with the tariffs and shit, the flower prices have gone up for stuff. So I'm constantly looking in some of the places like Rex and things like that, Holland Bulb Company, things that are reputable, that I've gotten things from, and they've actually grown or been replaced. So I'm going more towards bulbs, corms, tubers, rhizomes, so I don't have to keep spending money every year with things that are like annuals. I could just buy some seed packets for the typical stuff, and the rest comes up every year, and it multiplies. These things, the Kana, the Hosta, they all multiply. You start with 1 or 2 or 3, and you wind up in 4 years with a bunch that you can give to other people. But this milkweed was $18, well, $19 with a tax, but it should be here on the 27th. But yeah, finding out that the lanternflies, it's toxic to them. That's like helping the beneficial butterflies that are seriously been decimated. Partly because people they started eradicating the milkweed, like I was saying. and going for the manicured lawns. That's why you see people fighting so hard for the natural backyards or the natural patches that you don't mow or anything. You just let go to wildflower and whatever, to just native kind of whatever's going, and let the bees and stuff. I've noticed this year, unfortunately, the wasp situation comes when the bees and the bumblebees and the, like I said, the honeybees and some butterflies start hanging around. I forgot that brings the wasps, and I'm allergic to them. But I did get I have an EpiPen now. I have two, actually. One in my purse for whenever I'm out, and I'm seeing more of them hanging around my areas. That's because what I'm growing. I specifically look for things that pollinators would like and that are perennials that'll come up every year, and I don't have to. Oh, and the other third thing is that I don't have to dig them, because some plants, they can't take the heat. I mean the coldness, so you have to bring them up. Some plants like iris and daffodils, crocus, they actually need to go through a period of very cold in order to bloom. Things like mums and hostas and stuff, they can't freeze that. They can get cold, but they can't get like the spring flowers need. Which makes sense, because you can't plant the spring flowers early because the ground isn't workable, but it's workable enough for something to come up from it. It's amazing how nature all works together in a little circle. But yeah, I'm so excited. And then they come in all different colors and things like that. I think this one is like a pinkish red. They start off like pink and turn more like dark pink. So yeah, and that'll be perfect for where, and it'll be a good place. It's right by the kitchen window. The screen is, I never have the window open, and it would be a beautiful place to put something that might be covered with butterflies and bees and such. So, but yes, if you have a lanternfly issue, girl, get you some milkweed plants. Seriously. Because the thing is, not only is it toxic to them, but they're attracted to that milky sap. It's kind of like the pitcher plant. They're attracted to the scent, and then the scent ensnares them. Wahaha. Yeah.